Yo, what's up everyone, this is Kaizouwar here. So recently I beat NEPTUNIA across SENRAN KAGURA Ninja Wars, and I really wanted to talk about it because I like SENRAN KAGURA. I've only played 3 games, that being Peach Beach Splash, Burst Renewal, and Estival Versus, and I've only played one NEPTUNIA game, and that's pretty much NEPTUNIA V2. I honestly would have played the Rebirth trilogy already had they actually released over here on the West on consoles, but that's beside the point. The point of this video is I've played NEPTUNIA across SENRAN KAGURA Ninja Wars, and I really want to talk about it. I don't want to make this video super long or anything, I just want to get my thoughts out there, so without further ado, let's get into the video. So, I personally believe that this game is pretty okay. It's not particularly good, but it's not particularly bad either. It's pretty much middle of the road. It's not mid, because I think if a game is mid, that's a fate worse than death. That's a fate worse than being bad if you're mid. No, I really think the game is just okay. It didn't really do anything that would make me essentially remember it outside the crossover aspect, but it was an okay game. So the story of the game is pretty much that there are 2 great factions that are existing in the world of game industry. There are 2 allied nations known as Heartland, which is home to the Compa style ninjas, aka the NEPTUNIA characters, and there's also a nation called Marvel Land, which is the home to the Honey Pie style ninjas, who are the SENRAN KAGURA characters. And I kind of like the idea of like the SENRAN KAGURA characters and the NEPTUNIA characters existing in one world, like one alternate universe. I kind of like this idea because normally when game crossovers do happen, it's more like, oh, one character from a different series is into another world from a different series, that kind of thing, where like there's no cohesion between the 2. It's just like, hey, you know, this character's appearing here, that's kind of cool, right? As for characters, and I think this is probably the main sticking point, SENRAN KAGURA is known, and I guess NEPTUNIA as well, are known for having like a good amount of characters you can play as in this game, but this game it gives you a very limited amount. For like crossover game, you figure you would see more characters from the series. Now you do kind of see them, but they're not playable characters. So on the SENRAN KAGURA side, we have Asuka, Homura, Yumi, and Miyabi. Those are the main 4 Honeypot style ninjas in this game, the SENRAN KAGURA characters, only 4 of them. But while on the NEPTUNIA side, we have Neptune, who can become Purple Heart, Noir, who can become Black Heart, Blonde, who can become White Heart, and Vert, who can become Green Heart. And on top of that, we also have If, who is a Shrine Maid in this game, Compa, who is a medical ninja, and Histoire, who is the daimyo or leader of Heartland. So that makes 7 characters on the NEPTUNIA side and only 4 on the SENRAN KAGURA side, which I find really weird. Like, it would make sense to at least have 3 more SENRAN KAGURA characters. And I think SENRAN KAGURA's cast is like really huge at this point, where I'm just genuinely surprised that it's only the 4 school leaders from SENRAN KAGURA and not anyone else. And it feels so weird. Like, I know this is an alternate universe where, like, you know, these characters are just like part of their own team rather than just having a team of their own, like from the original games, but it just feels weird that it's just these 4. This is like the bare minimum type of characters you need for a crossover. And this is a whole alternate universe thing when they could have just stuffed other characters in to fit within the canon. But it's not just these characters we have. We also have original characters into the fold as well. So the first original character we have is Yuki, and she's a ninja serving under a princess known as Aru, right? So she's a brand new character made original to this game. She's not the only one, because there's also another character known as Go the Crow, who is a mysterious ninja who doesn't remember anything but her name. There's also the Princess Aru, and also 2 new antagonists. I mean, there's more, but these are the only ones I actually really give a damn about. So we're introduced to an antagonist group known as the Steamy Legion, who are masters of the headshot style. And there is Yo Gamer, who is a ninja, like basically a mechanical ninja. And they basically tout themselves as true ninjas, and they capitalize themselves as ninja, like the word ninja is capitalized. So show themselves that they are like the true ninjas. And her partner, it's Tetsuko, who is basically the commander of the Steam Legion, right? So there's those characters. There's also a main villain named Danyu, but I really don't want to talk about him because I don't honestly give a shit about him. And there's also 2 robot ninjas that also are a part of the group as well, but they don't really get seen much, and I don't really want to talk about them too much either. So, and they're not even playable. So out of all that, we have 4 playable SENRAN KAGURA characters, 4 playable NEPTUNIA characters, and 2 playable original character ninjas, which brings up the roster up to 10, which I think is a missed opportunity, man. Like, it's crazy how little characters are actually in this game. gameplay is also another weird sticking point for me in this one. Like, the game doesn't play badly at all, but like it doesn't really get too advanced, right? It feels like a more watered down version of a Senran Kagura game. I mean, there are mechanics up in here that actually do play nice. The game doesn't, like, you know, give you anything that would hinder you in any way. The game does have like RPG aspects to it. Like, there's like these spirit gems where you can equip to your character and, you know, have special properties based on the type of enemies you fight. You can, you know, get better drops, stuff like that. But, you know, it has more of an RPG angle to it, right? I think the problem is, with the lack of character variety, you also don't have a lot of move variety either, because all the characters have their basic few hit combo, and that's about it. You have no combo extenders, which means you can't really go, you know, you can't really expand the combo too much. None of the gems you can equip even do anything, and the equipment you do have is just for special kunai and shuriken, which I stopped really thinking about for a while because the projectiles aren't really that good anyway. So the kunai and shuriken aren't really like important weapons. You can literally breeze through the game without even using them once at all. I really believe that. So yeah, the combat is not terrible, but it doesn't really advance any further. You do get new special moves to which each character gets to have up to 6, but I just don't really think the combat is worth anything special. I really do think that both individually, the Neptunia games and the Senran Kagura games play better than this crossover here, because it has mechanics where, like, you know, you have abilities where you can like use special moves where you have to sacrifice a stamina gauge, and you can reboost that stamina gauge by, you know, just fighting enemies, or also there's equipment that you can actually boost the stamina gauge with. And if you don't dash, your stamina gauge does go up in idle stance. So that's pretty alright. But other than that, it's not really anything special. The game just doesn't really advance upon anything. It's basically more like it's just there. It's kind of plain, right? I mean, if you played games like Senran Kagura Deep Crimson, you would recognize the pairing system where you can put two characters together to swap between each of them. It doesn't really do anything with that. Outside of that, you use one character, you can swap out of them in the middle of the combo and have them continue the combo. But the combo doesn't really extend any farther than that because it's just one extra free hit, so there's that. The only other thing that's like introduced in this game that seems a little bit noteworthy is a minigame. So there's like this game where you can balance characters on these giant peaches, and you have to either use motion controls or use the L2 or R2 buttons to keep them balanced in order to get stats buffs for your next missions and stuff like that. I don't really think much of this either. It's just an annoying minigame, but that's about that. And that's really all you have. Like, the game doesn't really have much going on. I mean, you do have your standard like, requests that you have in every Senran Kagura game. You gotta do like, you know, this specific type of stuff, like missions and stuff like that. The missions don't really give you really any story or anything. They don't really bring up anything. It's just basic missions. You go here, you kill this thing, you collect this thing, you escape from this enemy who can kill you in one shot, while also trying to grab food from the dungeons and stuff, the levels and stuff like that. And then the problem, and also another problem, is the game has very limited levels. It doesn't really have too many, so you're basically going through a bunch of the same ones over and over again until you basically run out the missions and stuff like that. And yeah, the game does feel very cheaply made. There's not much going on in the game. There's not really much to do. Even the story mode stuff kind of drags on for a while because the presentation of the story mode, which is not bad, but I really think it slacks in a lot of areas. Now, it's a visual novel where it's using, like, you know, it's combining the styles. Let's try to combine the styles of Senran Kagura and Neptunia, where, okay, well, Senran Kagura had, you know, 3D visual novels, but in this game it's 2D, and it's trying to mimic the style of the Neptunia games. But the problem is the Neptunia games had live 2D, but this crossover Neptunia cross Senran Kagura Ninja Wars does not have live 2D, so it's basically just a regular visual novel thing. And I think the problem is the characters don't really move in the visual novel stuff. They don't have, you know, have different hand movements and stuff like that, which the previous other games did have. And some of the characters just look weird in these visual novel sections. Like Homura, I don't know why Homura is drawn like this, but her eyes are so far apart. It's really, really crazy. But I don't know what to even say about this. But every other character looks fine to an extent. But like, Homura just got the dirty end of the stick. I don't know what happened with her. I think another issue is just the overall presentation and music. Music, I could just gloss over right away because there's not a single memorable song in this entire game. I ain't gonna lie. There's not a single song that sticks out to me at all. Which is a shame, because Neptunia and Senran Kagura by themselves have excellent music. I don't know what happened here. In presentation, the game looks fine. Again, as I mentioned before, the story mode is whatever. Honestly, the previous Neptunia games looked way better than the story mode in this game, and honestly, I would have rather had at least the live 2D and the moving character sprites at least show they're doing something. But that's beside the point. But the game itself does look all right. Yeah, it just looks like a Senran Kagura game, which there's nothing wrong with that. The game looks fine. The character models look all right. I love. One thing I do like about this game is the ninja designs for the Neptunia characters. I really do believe that I really wish that the Senran Kagura characters got a redesign, just because it's a whole alternate universe. It would just make sense for them to get new outfits as well. But I do like the ninja interpretation of this Neptunia characters. I think it's by far one of the best things about this game. It's just the way they look. They look cool. The problem is there's no cohesion between the designs, so it's just basically two different artists drawing these characters, and you're expected to believe that they're from the same world. That's the sad part. I really wish there was just like one single cohesive artist. Like Sunako could have done the art, right? Like it just could have done the Senran Kagura characters and have them match, or the artist for Senran Kagura could have just drawn the Neptunia characters and have them match. I get why they did this, to have the character designs like, you know, feel like they're from the different series. But if you're gonna have them together in their own alternate universe, it would just make sense to have some design cohesion. That's all I'm saying. But overall, there's nothing I can really say about this game. It's all right. It was not bad. I really wish it could have been better. It definitely feels like one of those rush out the door cash grab type of games, because the company behind Senran Kagura isn't really doing anything with the IP nowadays, and Neptunia's just still getting games, which is cool, but you know, Neptunia hasn't really had like a mainline game in a while. So, you know, I guess this was a nice thing they wanted to do for a while, but it just feels like it feels half-assed, you know? It feels like they didn't want to do this at all. I just feel like they wanted to do it, but didn't have the budget, time, or the money necessary to actually make it entertaining. It just feels like, oh yeah, we just want to cash in on our highly profitable IP names. That's what it feels like. I really wish that, hey, if we ever did get a sequel, I would hope they would, you know, make it better. But that's all I really wanted to say. The game was all right. If I were to ever rate it by numbers, I would give it a 6 out of 10. Like, I wouldn't give it a 5, but I would give it a 6. At the very least, I didn't hate it. I did enjoy my time with it. I mean, if I didn't enjoy my time with it, I would have never beaten it. So, you know, I guess that must count for something.